Hey guys, Victoria, and I recently saw a video made by a young girl who calls herself a vegan, and she was a little concerned that there were people out there eating eggs and calling themselves vegans. Almost like she was the, I don't know, president of veganism. So like, it was funny to see the judgments being made. Actually not funny at all. I think it's actually really cruel to judge anybody in the place that they're in, because everybody was somewhere once before they became vegan. I was vegan for 8 years straight, like full-on hardcore vegan. And I guess you could say that, but I don't really believe there is such a thing as a hardcore vegan, because only in belief. Because naturally there is no such thing. Obviously, if you drive a car or even ride a bike, you're going to kill a few bugs, so you're not vegan. So anyway, besides that, I was in ideology, I was vegan, and also I did not consume any any animal products, and I also did not wear any animal products. And I continue to do all that, but with a few exceptions along the way. After those 8 years were up, I did have eggs, and they were ethical. And this woman or girl claims that this is not ethical to have all kinds of eggs. Now, I agree that factory farming is horrific. I don't contribute to that. But I did have eggs that were from a neighbor's farm, a friend of mine, who actually takes care of the hens and feeds the hens. And this girl said that, you know, you don't care about the hens or the chickens. You don't care. How does she know that? Anyway, so yeah, my friend takes care of these and gave us some eggs, and I didn't see anything wrong with it. They lay eggs every day. They're not fertilized. There are no roosters around. I don't know if this girl was trying to get vegans more angry, which backfires in the end because your message is totally not heard when you're angry, but or if they just want meat eaters to jump through hoops. Because the way I see it is, people that are not eating animals like full-on animals, they're not eating cows, chickens, pigs, they're not eating these things, that's a plus. That's a great thing. If they want to call themselves vegans, who cares? Do you really care about the label? Like, what's in a name, honestly? I mean, any religious group will look down on someone who's not religious. Does it mean that they're not the same religion? No. There's always going to be someone that's more fanatic than the next. Now, if you want to be a fanatic vegan, that's fine. I just won't hear the message very loud and clearly. Tell me the benefits of it. Tell me what it's going to do for me, and I will consider it. That's how the world works. It's not kindergarten. There's no teacher telling us to share on a playground. That's not how this world works. We'd like it to, but it doesn't. So the whole angry thing, it's just not effective, in my opinion, especially since it took me 10 years to go 100% vegan, because I wasn't doing it for trending. I can tell you I was actually not all for it. I was almost pushed into it by my husband, and there was no way it was trending at the time. I had to switch 3 children over from meat eating to plant-based, and I'm very happy I did. Not an easy task, not at all, not for them, not for me. As a mother of 3, I can tell you, it's not easy being a mother alone. And then to have to change their diet on them and tell them why. Yeah, well, I showed them slaughterhouse videos, and people could, you know, say that's horrible, and they could judge me all they want, but guess what? They're not eating that stuff now, so I did something right. And they have more compassion now because they know what's up. So, and then there were people that applaud me for doing that. You know, there's always going to be someone who loves me and someone who hates me. I can't please everyone. I'm intelligent enough to know it's impossible to do. So when you're trying to get somebody to go a certain way, you know, think about all the stuff that you are bombarded with, all of the movements out there, pro-abortion and pro-gay and pro-this and pro-that. So are you not part of the group, and can you not call yourself a name if, let's say, the 1% of the time that you do something bad? Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn, he is one of the top cardiologists in the world, and he's renowned. He's helped people like former President Bill Clinton at the time that he was plant-based. I think he's still plant-based. Maybe he eats a few animal products a year. Well, he himself admitted to having chocolate once a year on Christmas. So is that it for him? He's not vegan? Is that it? Like his whole message of veganism is gone? Actually, he's not a vegan messenger. He's actually just telling people to eat plants. So if you tell people the benefits, that will help. Let's put it this way. I could remember, as far back as I could remember, I think I was around 10 or 11 years old, something like that. I switched schools from one yeshiva to another. Yeshiva is Hebrew school. It's Hebrew day school. Half the day is Hebrew, half the day is English. It's Jewish history. It's all that stuff. And it was a private school. That's what a lot of us did in Brooklyn, New York. And when I switched schools, there was this girl. She just wanted to hate. She didn't even know exactly what she meant, but she was just like, she was just so bitchy. I remember having a lollipop and her saying to me in this voice, in this tone, "That's not kosher." As if I'm not Jewish. So I said, "Oh, really?" And I'm licking my lollipop and I go, "So don't eat it. You don't have to eat it." Instead of telling me there was, something in it that was disgusting, like, maybe there was pig in it, or there was like, what are those beetles, the beetle blood that's in it, that red dye, whatever. Of course, she didn't know herself because she was just part of a group, a kosher group, or a little cult is what I call it, or dogmatic. Okay, she didn't even know. She was just regurgitating shit. Okay, she was just regurgitating what she heard or what maybe her parents told her. It's not kosher. So you judging me? Did she really care? Did she really, really care? Did she care about what I ate? Did she care about what went into that lollipop? No, not really. She was just regurgitating whatever she knew. So in the hopes of not sounding like a group that just regurgitates over and over, why not send people to the right places? Send them to the documentaries that make sense, that have science to back them up, that have something more of substance. Instead of just saying that, it's not ethical, or eggs are worse than cigarettes, or you didn't show any research. You don't know that for sure. I don't think it's true. I really personally don't think that's true. I will not compare a hen locally that has an egg, that lays an egg, and then you eat that, and that's considered the same as 100 cigarettes. I guaranteed do not believe that to be true. I just don't. And I know lots of people that live long lives that eat eggs. Now, I don't support the egg industry because they kill baby male chicks. I don't give money to that industry. I don't give money to any industry that kills for a living, that does that. But on a farm, to have an egg, what do you care? And how could you say that someone's not ethical? It's like calling someone out. And how about the good that they're doing? How about all the stuff they're not eating? Applaud them. Applaud them. Don't say, you can't call yourselves vegan. That's like me saying to Jews for Jesus, you can't do that. Do you see how dumb that sounds? You can't do that. Jews don't believe in Jesus. I mean, well, there is a group that does. And if vegans want to be a new religion because they want to, then let them. Let them. What does anybody care? It's better than saying that they're carnivores. I would take a vegan any day over a carnivore. If I was transitioning, I would have gotten 100% back onto meat. If somebody was making fun of whatever efforts I made. It was already hard for me enough when I was going raw. I'll never forget. I already had to decipher if I was going to be raw. I mean, I had to give up a lot of stuff. Okay, that's hard to do. Not everybody can do that. Okay, but I was really trying, and I wanted it. And then when I heard I couldn't food combine, I'm like, what? Now I got to do that? There's too much. It's too much information. Let people do what they can, and maybe eventually they'll get rid of their eggs. I know that I only had it a few times. Does that mean it's all over for me? Like I'm not part of the group? Like does that mean that all my messages and all the dailies that I do maybe when I meet somebody and literally within the 5 minutes that I meet them, I'm talking about plant-based? Like I've converted more people than I know. Like I seriously do it like on auto. I'm like auto. I'm like a robot at this point. It just becomes like, you know, like if you're married and you're talking to a man and you don't want to lead them on, you just tell them, you bring up your husband. In the same way, I'll bring up my plant-based diet. It will just come out. It's part of who I am right now. Judgments. So bad. So bad. You have to really start going back to the time that you were a meat eater yourself or an egg eater. Or maybe there's going to be a time that you're going to feel like your health is at stake and maybe you're going to have something else. When you have grains, and I have to go now, but when you have grains and wheat, those mills are killing rodents, thousands and thousands of rodents and bugs and everything else in between. So, I mean, think about that. Is that vegan? Excuse me one second. Okay, obviously I was interrupted. I have somebody over here right now and I have to go, but this is my message today. Just please don't let this backfire. Just you focus on other things. There's so many big wars out there that we have to get through. There's so many bigger fights out there to fight. Let people do their thing. Let them call themselves vegan. Who cares? Just, I mean, you know, you wouldn't be telling that to somebody in their face either, because if your mother or sister or brother were eating something, or even a guest over at your house was eating something, and they told you that they were doing the best that they could, but right now they're just at transition. I remember when Michael first started, he was getting rid of cheese one year, and the next New Year's he did eggs, and he just went like that. And, you know, some people are at their own pace. Go at your own pace and see what you can do to contribute to the world, okay? Nobody's wrong in doing what they're doing. If you're volunteering, you're not a hypocrite if you're volunteering and you're still eating some animal products. You're volunteering, that's a good thing. Let's applaud that. Over time, people will see what they're doing. Like I said, bring them over to Earthlings and Forks Over Knives and Cowspiracy and all those places. Those are the places that will convince them. That's what worked for me the most, okay? I hope you can understand this message. I don't know who I'm getting to right now. I don't know who's watching. I don't know who's watching this girl that said that this is not okay and you're not ethical. Who are we to judge? Just do what you can. Good luck to you, all right? Take care, everyone.